right, so Cowboy versus Gaethje. The X's and O's of this were pretty straightforward. I mean, this was a dirty, rotten kickboxing fight. They were just on their feet. Cowboy a little bit more technical, as you would expect. Gaethje a little bit more mean. Everything Gaethje does, bad intentions. Gaethje had some real success with his outside leg kick. Same weapon he uses on everybody. And I thought that might be a little bit bigger story of this fight. Can he find that? Will Cowboy check it? Will Cowboy counter down the middle just because he's so experienced in that realm? But Gaethje had some good moments. He was finding it. Took Donald a little bit. Then Donald did start to check it a little. I thought that Gaethje's kicks were better. I thought Donald's hands were better. I mean, it looked like, without even looking at the numbers, what I saw, and I just saw this and came to talk to you guys, it looked as though Gaethje was landing more with the leg kicks and Cowboy was landing more with punches and crosses. The end of the fight turned out to be where the real drama was. Gaethje catches him with a bit of a hook, right? Donald was fully exposed trying to attack Gaethje too, so he took a hard shot and went down, but he started to recover. Boom, Gaethje comes in, now it makes recovering a little bit harder, but Gaethje stopped. And I don't know if Cowboy had said something or if the ref said something. It was this very bizarre moment where Cowboy's essentially down on a knee, Gaethje's standing over him, right? We've seen that before. And the referee's standing there going, hey, I haven't quite seen enough yet to step in, so you boys stay about your business. So Cerrone stays down, referee finally has waved it off, and Gaethje begins pointing at Cerrone and yelling. Almost like you've seen guys do before, like, I beat you, or whatever it is. But I don't think that's what happened. I think as he was pointing at Cerrone, well, the referee was standing right there too. I think Gaethje was yelling at the referee. And the only reason I've come to that conclusion is just because these guys were pals. They used to train together. They hugged after the fight. Gaethje went as far before the fight as to say, this is the only friend I have in the entire lightweight division. So I don't think he would have yelled at Cerrone. And I don't know if he would yell at a referee. It was kind of a weird ending, where even when I'm watching it, I don't really see who's at fault here. By example, the way I just described that to you guys, you might think, well, why did the ref not stop it sooner? It wasn't. I don't know that I would have if I was the ref. It's kind of one of these weird moments where, is Cerrone coming up or is he going down? He had gone down and then come back up, and then he went back down. And, maybe the ref was just giving him a beat to decide. When you're in Gaethje's spot, of course you want the fight stopped, right? Boom, victory, done. So I have a feeling Gaethje will weigh in and maybe tell us what happened there. But I think contrary to what your eyes might have told you, that he was yelling at Cerrone and rubbing it in, I don't think that's what it was. I think Gaethje was yelling at the official, but that was kind of how that fight went. The interesting thing about this fight, not only because those guys are just so fun to watch, and you kind of knew going to this fight, there's going to be a stoppage somewhere. Well, what round is it in and who does it go to? Let's tune in and find out. But just with these guys, they just stop fights. But I did think that a part of the story going into this fight is, where does Conor McGregor fit in? Does he fit in? Conor's in a little bit of an interesting spot. While his next fight will be a main event, it will be a huge fight, it will be a big attraction and good night for business and all this different stuff, he does need an opponent. And if we're make-believing that he's going to fight the winner of Ferguson and Khabib, that's okay. That just kicks the timeline out so far that I would prefer to not believe it, because there's nothing to get excited for there. How do you get excited for a fight that's in April, right? When it's September? So I tend to lean towards the school of thought, admittedly largely because I am hoping that he'll do something a lot closer to the first of the year. Maybe even this side of it, probably the other side of it, which does make you, who's he going to get matched up with? A lot of things have to be right there. I know for sure Conor and Cerrone were about to fight. I know that because I was in Australia with Cowboy, who flew to Australia to announce that fight. I've now learned, as you guys have, that Conor had agreed to fight Gaethje, because Conor went on Errol Hawani's show and said that. I actually agreed to fight Gaethje and we were going to do it. And then until I hurt my back or until something happened, and until it came about, Conor came out. But I think those are really good clues, because Conor, from what we've seen, has been calling a lot of guys out, but not accepting a lot of fights. Well, those are two guys that he had at some point had a serious discussion, and even an agreeative one, to compete against. So now that you put those guys together and one guy moves forward with his Gaethje, you have a better option for Gaethje, guys? Do you have a better option for Conor? I mean, sitting and waiting for the winner of Ferguson versus Khabib is not a good option to start with. It's a possible one. That was never a good one to start with. Keep a guy out who hasn't been there in a minute anyway, hasn't won a fight in years, and now take him to a whole nother year of spring of 2020. I mean, that's not a good option. It's a possible one. So let's see where this goes. But I do think that there will be some backing and support for that fight. I do think other people are going to be suggesting this and calling for it besides just me. But possibly that was, the X's and O's of the fight were fun. It was a fun couple of minutes. But I think the drama and the storylines that may develop could be even more fun.